rights activist. He brings a conservative point of view to black issues. His mission: to provide a forum for honest discussions about social issues without the liberal lapdogs shutting down the discussion. Broadcasting from the American Truth Project Studios in beautiful Brooklyn Park, Minnesota. This is Conservative Nation with your host, Jermain Botsio.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another edition of Conservative Nation with me, your gracious host, Jermain Botsio. And on today's show, as you guys know, it is Sunday and it's Weekend Rumble. I got the one, the only Anthony Allen, liberal demon slayer from the South, making sure that these liberals can't see the daylight. How are you doing, sir?
I'm doing fantastic, Jermain Botsio. Good to see you, my brother. Hope you're doing well with everything, that happened and going on with you there with the accident. You look great, man. I'm telling you,
Thank you.
But yeah, we are going to slay some demons, slay these, liberal demons. They have gone completely, monkey swinging off the vine, crazy. Okay. One little ruling from the Supreme Court, and now they're slipping, they're sliding, they're yelling, and they're screaming. These people are completely nuts, and we need to talk about this.
Absolutely. They're absolutely crazy right now, Anthony Allen. And as you know, the world right now is really turning when it comes to the new type of information that is being spewed out in terms of, news, in terms of what's going on with governments. People got to understand that right now is a critical point in our history when it comes down to enlightenment. I want folks to understand enlightenment, right? That means people waking the hell up and knowing what the hell is going on. Enlightenment. I want folks to understand that. Why do you think there's so much censorship going on? It's because people are getting enlightened. They're starting to know, hey, you know what? These people are telling us a lie. Hey, this is not what you're saying it is. People are starting to get that. And the people that are, quote unquote, in charge, they don't like that at all. They really don't. So that's why they're doing their darndest to clamp down on all these social media platforms, to clamp down on people like myself and Anthony Allen, who are giving unfettered truth to people who want it. And that's something they don't want, because truth, let me tell you, the truth is contagious. It really is. It absolutely is. Anthony Allen, we have a fantastic show lined up for the crowd. Let me tell you, I'm ready to rock and roll. I've been ready for a while since church. How about you, sir?
Yeah, man. This lineup, like you said, it is fantastic, and it has got to get down to our fans and people. So yeah, I'm ready to rock and roll, my friend. Let's go do this thing.
Absolutely. Ladies and gentlemen, make sure you guys do us a favor. Please, oh please. Make sure you guys hit that like button. Make sure you share. All you have to do, ladies and gentlemen, is take a look at what's going on in the world. You see the censorship. You see the lies, even from our own government, right? Yeah, look at the Biden administration. You know they lying to you. You ain't got to look that far. Anthony Allen, you know they lying to you, right?
100%. Like these people, they have actually perfected the lie.
Absolutely.
Lie in so many ways. It's just incredible how they can lie. And
I'm telling
good
you,
at it, man. They're experts.
Experts. That's why I'm saying, ladies and gentlemen, you gotta share. These folks here, they're on a different level, and we need to make sure, let me tell you, that we are able to reach the people who want this truth and they want to act. okay? So please, oh please, hit that like button. Make sure you share, and if you can, throw something in the bucket for us. Help us keep giving you guys the content you love and deserve, all right? Absolutely. First one up. I want to go ahead and revisit a story we spoke about this week that dealt with Juneteenth. Now, if you've been watching this program for a while, you know my deal on Juneteenth, right? Yeah, I think it's just another throwaway to the black folks out there who love to complain and cry about racism. It's a throwaway to the woke folks, let me tell you. And Juneteenth is causing up a stir from here to Pakistan. It is. We spoke about a business here in America that put out a sign that, hey, we're not going to be open today. It's Juneteenth. Enjoy your fried chicken and collard greens. And apparently that sign, let me tell you, what was a cause of dismay in a lot of people's hearts. It really was. And I want to go ahead and speak to you guys about it here. We got some new folks in here, and I want to get Anthony Allen's, take on this. This story has blown up since we started speaking about it, and let me tell you, it's blown up for good reason. Here we go. Make sure you guys hit that like button. Make sure you do share. We certainly do need it. Here we go.
We begin with a story that has people here in Maine and beyond talking.
It starts with a social media post showing a racist sign posted to the door of a Millinocket business regarding this week's Juneteenth holiday. News Center Maine's Carly Dion has the details.
It was extremely upsetting.
A community outraged.
I was appalled.
On social media, this Facebook post shared more than 9,000 times and counting. This sign posted to the window of Reed Agency Insurance in Millinocket, reading, Juneteenth, it's whatever. We're closed. Enjoy your fried chicken and collard greens. Plenty of people online disgusted. Melanie Higgins put the sign up.
I would never purposely set out to hurt anyone, and I would never purposely set out to hurt my mom's business at all. She had nothing to do with this.
Melanie Higgins' mother, Karen, has owned Reed Agency for more than 30 years. Just the two of them work there. Higgins says she posts signs to the door ahead of every holiday they will be closed, often trying to make them lighthearted and comical. Showing examples, this one for Memorial Day reading, thank you to all service members for your sacrifice for this country. A country now that is going to hell in a handbasket faster than my dog stealing a piece of pizza off the counter. Now that I mention pizza, I'm craving it. Remember, the more you weigh, the harder you are to kidnap.
I truly apologize. I'm mortified that this has even happened.
Higgins says she had a rough week last week, and when she wrote the sign Friday, she was in a rush to go home for the weekend. As this post continues to circulate social media, she says they've had to take their phone off the hook.
We are receiving death threats. We are receiving phone calls that's calling us really inappropriate words.
Higgins says she hopes she can make things right and that people will accept her apology. Many people online pointing fingers at the town being a racist community. Millinocket's town manager, Peter Jameson, wants to set that record straight.
We feel very strongly that
here's the white splaining.
We just have no place for this in our community.
Millinocket's town council chair, Steve Gottlieb, says they are in the process of discussing how they want to move forward and making one thing clear.
An unfortunate incident like this does not characterize who we are as a community.
A community, he says, is accepting, inclusive, and respectful to all.
In
Millinocket, Carly Dion, News Center, Maine.
I bet. Let me go ahead and stop it here. Let me go ahead and stop here. So Anthony Allen, my goodness gracious, let me tell you here. Let me tell you something here, brother. I feel very, very, very bad for these white folks here in America. They have to deal with crapola. This sign that is up here, Anthony Allen, let me tell you something. To me, this sign is very mild. Gosh darn it. I've seen some crazier signs than this, at the Mickey Mouse Fair. Let me go ahead and show. You know what I'm saying? At the Christmas Jamboree, I've seen a better sign than this. It says Juneteenth. It's whatever. Work closed. Enjoy your fried chicken and collard greens. You know, I was, you know, if it was up to me, Anthony Allen, you know, I would have her add, you know, enjoy your fried chicken and collard greens, and I would add Arizona tea, maybe some Takis or some hot fries. You get what I'm saying, Anthony Allen? Maybe some watermelon. You get what I'm saying? I would have added that. But, you know, she didn't add that. I think this was pretty light, Anthony Allen. What the heck is wrong with these fools out here? What do you think about this here, sir?
You know what? This is what I think, Jermain Botsio. Blacks should get over it, okay? There was nothing racist about this note. The real racists, to me, are the people that see racism in everything. Okay, these white people can't say anything, they can't do anything because these people that have this inferiority complex, they get all, you know, pee-peed up. Okay, they just wet their clothes trying to figure out how can they make something racist. Now, every holiday, you know, they have traditional foods. You know that on Thanksgiving there's a turkey. Everybody likes turkey. You know, on Christmas time, there's a turkey and a ham, okay? Now, in the South, I don't care what holiday it is. If it's Christmas, if it's Thanksgiving, if it's Halloween, and they're going to cook some dinner, they're going to have some collard greens somewhere, okay? So you're right. They should have added watermelon. Now, what is wrong with collard greens and watermelon and black-eyed peas? There's nothing wrong with that. That's what I said. Okay? We know plenty of white people. Guess what they like? They like collard greens and watermelon. They like black-eyed peas too, and they like all the kind of food that they want to say are racist. These black people, they're very, very sophisticated now, you know. They have these nice jobs, these nice houses, and they want to eat caviar. They want to eat, you know, ribeye steaks and T-bones. But do you know what? Behind closed doors, these Negroes, they're going to get to some collard greens, okay? When they go home to mama, okay? They may be up in New York somewhere, in Chicago, you know, big, nice, you know, business, but they're going to go home to mama. And they're going to sit down to a table and their mama going to feed them the same food that made them a doctor or a lawyer or an engineer. And that will be some collard greens and some black-eyed peas. These Negroes, when they go home to mama, they get collard greens, they get black-eyed peas, okay? Now, what these Negroes should do, instead of calling racism, they should have a contest that say this is the Juneteenth contest, and we're going to give everybody, you know, someone a $100 prize for making the best collard greens around town. You know, make a contest about this
That's
thing.
what I'm saying.
Why call it racism? You know, big entrepreneur. You know, have a Juneteenth collard green contest, okay? But this whole idea where these Negroes are crying racism, they are the racists.
Absolutely.
They have the inferiority complex. I like collard greens. You like collard greens. Everybody likes collard greens. What a liar these people are. They don't have anything to talk about racism. They have to make it up now.
There you go. And Anthony Allen, let me, to tell you the truth, there's a lot of white Americans out there who love collard greens and fried chicken.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. So for the fact that somebody would just automatically point out this sign to be racist, let me tell you, they have what I call the liberal chip inside their brain. You know, as soon as they see color or some sort of person that ain't their color, they go off. Something's going off in their brain. White Americans, please, oh please, if this happens to you, please do not apologize.
There you go.
Do not apologize. Apologizing will get you hell. Seriously, you see how Donald Trump, when he offended the liberals, he never apologized? And did you see how the liberals left him alone? Right? They talked for a little bit, right? They talked for that brief moment. I can't believe he said that. That was rude, right? And then they left him alone, right? Yeah, because he never apologized. He never gave them an inch so that they can come and terrorize him. Do you understand? White people have to learn that. Learn from your mama. Your mama don't apologize. Gosh darn, learn from your mama. Yeah, you better learn from your mama. Do not apologize. There's no reason to apologize. You haven't did nothing wrong. These people will always look for something to make you apologize for so that they can get some sort of political or economical advantage. Point blank, period. They could care less about what the sign said. All they know is an opportunity to get whitey. And one thing else, you have to start getting rid of these white splainers. Yeah, absolutely. If you don't know what a white splainer is, you're probably a white splainer. A white person who starts explaining the reason why, hey, this is not racist because blah, 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 blah. Hey, we're not racist because blah, blah. Stop white splaining. If a black idiot out there thinks you're racist, he thinks your house is racist, thinks your employment is racist, think your company's racist, you know what you should do? Screw that black idiot. Screw him and go on with your day. Because that person has a mental problem. Anthony Allen, last words here, sir.
Yeah, these people that are calling this sign racist, they have never experienced real racism. Okay, there's so little racism in America that these black racists that see racism under every rock, around every corner, okay, they have to make up racism now. And that's all this is. They just have made it up. The same thing that Jesse Smollett did, okay?
Mm-hmm.
There's no racism, so they have to make it up now. And you're exactly correct. My white friends out there, do not apologize. When you say something and your black friends get mad, if you say, oh, it's a dark night, or the sky is black, and your black friends get mad, guess what? You don't need them as a friend.
Yep.
Okay?
Period.
And you don't have any reason to apologize for something that you did not do. And you don't say it was unintentional. That's obvious. These black people, they need to allow white people to speak as they need to, okay? And because white people allow black people to speak as they need to, black people say the most rudest things about white people, and they do not apologize for it, or they do not black-explain it either, okay? So it goes both ways for me. Let's have a free speech society.
Mm-hmm.
I am not offended if someone uses some kind of racial slur against me intentionally. I have never turned into any ugly word that someone has called me. I just haven't turned into that.
For real?
Oh, Anthony Allen, you're a bank robber. I haven't turned into a bank robber. Okay? So if people call me something or call you something, Jermain Botsio, you don't turn into it anyway. Just move on and have a great day.
And that's what, sane, mature adults would do, Anthony Allen.
Right.
You can't get over that. My goodness gracious. I want to go ahead and give a shout out to Dixie George, sweetheart. I gave you your wrench. You haven't. I don't know if you've been on on this channel, but I gave you your wrench. So I want to make sure that you got your wrench there, sweetheart. I also want to give a shout out to a couple folks here. Another person here. I want to go ahead and give a shout out to Abigail Paulson. Abigail Paulson took our $10 challenge on Cash App. Shout out to you. And also want to give a shout out to Dixie George donated, says, where's my wrench, sweetheart? I got you. You know I got you. You know I do. Absolutely. Shout out to you. Shout out to you. Absolutely. Shout out to y'all helping us make the program run. Let me tell you, helping us pay our bills. Shout out to both of y'all. Make sure you guys hit that like button. Make sure you do share, all right? Next one up. I want to speak to you guys about transgender athletes. Yeah. I want to. Transgender athletes. They have been banned in women's events by the International Swimming Federation. They say they don't want no guys out there throwing on a hair hat and doing the tuck and trying to, hop in a woman's event. They don't want any of that. I want to go ahead and run this clip when it comes back. I want to speak about it. I believe that this should go a lot further. Now, I've been saying this for a very long time. Why stop at swimming? Why? Makes no sense. Here we go.
When U.S. swimmer Leah Thomas won a national college title this year, it was seen by some as a beacon of inclusion, but by others as deeply unfair. The trans woman has said she wants to compete in the Olympics.
Thank you, my dear friends and colleagues.
But under new rules adopted by FINA, the organisation governing international swimming, that will not be possible.
It is a policy that we need to introduce in order to protect the competitive fairness of our event.
FINA says that anyone born male who wants to compete as a woman must exhibit low or suppressed levels of testosterone, a rule already in place in many sports. But in addition, the athletes must have transitioned before the onset of puberty or the age of 12, whichever is later. The only other sport to add the puberty rule has been rugby. Professor Ross Tucker consulted on that implementation.
Most of the biology that differs between males and females is very minimally affected when you lower the testosterone. They're not worried about testosterone. They're worried about, has that person had male biological puberty, and have they had the benefits?
Swimming Canada's CEO says he welcomes the clarity of the rules, but his organisation will only implement them in races where Canadian athletes could qualify for international events. Its domestic policy still allows athletes to register under the gender of their choice. FINA also says it aims to add an open category for trans athletes, although it hasn't said when and how that would work.
That's not inclusive. That doesn't include them, because it others trans people when, trans women are women and trans men are men.
Canadian LGBTQ plus rights groups have called the new rules draconian, discriminatory and unscientific. Redmond Shannon, Global News, London.
Unscientific, outrageous. Anthony Allen, let me tell you something. Satan and his crew is working real hard. They working real hard to screw up America and screw up the world, let me tell you. Ladies out there, you have to start fighting for the right to be a woman. You're being erased because of your emotion. Yeah. Your emotion is stopping you from doing what is right, ladies out there. And stopping people from encroaching on your gender. Yeah. Most folks nowadays don't know what a woman is. They can't even tell you. And you know why? Because they're scared. They're scared if they were to say what a real woman is, they would be gosh darn, tarred and feathered. They are scared, let me tell you. Anthony Allen, what do you think about this new rule that the Swimming Federation has? They're stopping, any transgenders. If you haven't transitioned, before 12, you ain't getting in. What do you think about it? Do you think that, parents out there who are sick in the mind, will go ahead and try to transition their children earlier than 12 now? I mean, what do you think?
Yeah, this is part of the insanity of the left. And this rule here, this FINA rule, it is a restriction. This rule does not ban transgenders. Okay, all it does is to restrict them. They have age limitations when you can, be admitted, and they have the male hormone level that has to be at a certain level. So this is all smoke and mirrors. They are not banning these transgender women into women's sports. All they're doing is just restricting it. So they're going to have more transgender women into these women's sports because
my goodness.
this rule is just a farce. There isn't anything in here that stops and bans.
You know what? You are right. You are right.
Yeah. Yeah, look at that, because it's just one big old loophole, and it looks like they're doing something, but they aren't doing a doggone thing, so I'm not. So they haven't done anything to me. It's just a big farce, okay? But getting back to your other point, this is demonic. This is evil, and it is the ultimate evil when these people think that women are so simple, that these ladies are so simple, made in God's image, that all they have to do is say that they are a woman.
Yeah.
Okay, that is the ultimate evil. God created woman, and man can't just, paste on some body parts, take some hormones, and bam, they become a woman. That's impossible. The hormones not the hormones, but the chromosomes are set. Okay. And this whole idea that they can change the chromosomes between men and women, that's impossible. And so, these policymakers, they aren't doing anything. It's just a Band-Aid over a wide open wound.
You know what? You're absolutely correct, Anthony Allen. You're absolutely correct. I want to give a shout out to Chris Palin. Chris Paulin says, why can't they just make their own trans Olympics? Problem solved. LOL. I'm with you, Chris. I think that they should have their own lane. That's what I've been saying for the very get-go. Why encroach? Why try to put yourself in these categories when you don't fit? Why don't you just compete against each other? And you know why they don't want to do that? Because once they start doing that, that defeats the purpose of the whole LGBTQ movement. The whole LGBTQ movement is to what? Immerse themselves amongst the population. Do you understand? I want folks to understand it. It is to immerse themselves, like they're, stealthily trying to, move their way in without being caught. That's the way they're trying to do it. And they cannot move in that fashion if they have their own lane. If you say, hey, yeah, you guys are trans, okay, you guys can have your own sports here. You can have your own school here, right? You can have your own this, you own that. The trans folks don't want it. And I'm letting you know that. You go and ask trans folks, hey, instead of you guys, running and saying that you're such and such gender, why don't we just say that you guys are your own gender, right? You guys can have your own sports, your own TV show, right? Your own community, your own this, your own that. And guess what? You will see man, I said that word before, and they hit me with a 7-day ban. So I'm trying to clean up my language a bit. If you ask a transgender that, they will not want it, and I'm telling you folks that. Because the whole thing behind the LGBTQ movement is to immerse themselves amongst the population so that they can get more folks like them. Do you understand? They can't trick folks to be in their group if they're not amongst them. Do you understand? It's harder, and I'm letting folks understand this. It's harder to get somebody outside of your group to come inside of your group. Yeah, it's harder to do that. That's why they want to be a part of the main group. Do you understand? So that it's not like it's a hard deal for somebody to say, hey, I'm trans now. See, if somebody says I'm trans now, nobody will bat an eye. If they had their own lane, somebody says they're trans now, it's a big effing deal. Do you understand? Yeah, because you're going into a new population, really, right? Like it's almost like a new world. And the psychologists know this, and the people who are running the LGBTQ fraud narrative know this. That's why they push it. Anthony Allen, last words here, sir.
Yeah, I think that you used a word that was well placed when you called it immersion. That's exactly right, because the immersion makes it normal. They want to normalize
there you go.
This idea
there you go.
of LGBTQ. Now, because these people, the construct that they want is that gender is a social construct.
There you go.
That someone can say, you know what? You are a female because society says that. You are a male because society says that.
There you go.
It has nothing to do with science at all. It's just what society has made you believe you are. So these people believe that gender is a social construct, and they want to emerge because that normalizes it.
There you go.
And that's
perfect
the
word.
idea, to emerge it, to normalize it. And when you normalize it, they can say that now gender is a social construct. And now they can say, and they can make the fact that anyone can be a man or a woman,
there you go,
regardless of their chromosomes, and all they have to do is say that they are a opposite sex, and that has to be a fact from that point on. And that's the big lie of LGBTQ. It's a big lie.
It's a huge lie, and you used the word absolutely correct. They try to normalize it. It's harder to normalize the transgender, the LGBTQ type of folks if they're in their own lane, Anthony Allen. Ain't that right?
Yes.
It's harder to normalize it, but it's easier to normalize it if they're immersed amongst the population. Then it's easy to normalize what the hell they're doing. So folks got to understand the things that they're pushing right now is very evil. It's very evil. And the people who are behind it don't give a rip about who's falling into the LGBTQ trap. They are just looking out for their pockets and their next seat of power. That's it.
Yep.
Let's go ahead and move forward.
Well said, brother.
Thank you, sir. Make sure you guys do me a favor. Hit that like button. Make sure you share. I want to go ahead and give a shout out to my guy, RC donated. Says, love ya both. Shout out to RC, brother from another mother. Army brother from another mother. Shout out to RC. Shout out to RC. Absolutely. Ladies and gentlemen, make sure you guys do me a favor. Hit that like button. Make sure you do share. We need your help. As you guys can see, liberals hate us. They hate you. That's why they come up with lies. Yeah, they come up with lies all day long. Next one up, I want to speak to you guys about the Senate that passed a gun safety bill. Yeah, the Senate this week passed a gun safety bill, and ladies and gentlemen, they had the help of Republicans. Yeah, the folks that said that they care about family and they care about you. Yeah, those folks, right? Mitch McConnell and them, right? Yeah, Kevin McCarthy, the one that said, hey, I support Donald Trump, and then he got caught on a secret tape saying that he could give a rip about Donald Trump. You guys remember that, right? Yeah, damn Republicans. Yeah, damn. Yeah, they help the Democrats pass a gun safety bill. Yeah, damn. Let me go ahead and run this when I come back. I want to speak about it. Why do we have Republicans helping Satan's children? Why? Why do we have them? Here we go.
The motion to concur with an amendment is agreed to.
Overnight, the Senate passing the first significant gun legislation in the U.S. in nearly 3 decades. The bill includes enhancing background checks for gun buyers under 21, closing the so-called boyfriend loophole, which would prevent people convicted of domestic violence from owning guns, and providing funding for school security and mental health programs. It stops short of banning or raising the age to buy AR-15 style guns.
What we are doing will save thousands of lives without violating anyone's Second Amendment rights.
The vote came just hours after the Supreme Court expanded gun rights. The justices struck down New York's century-old law that required a resident seeking a license to carry a concealed gun to prove they have a heightened need for self-defense. By a 6-3 majority, the Supreme Court said the law violates the Second Amendment. Justice Clarence Thomas writing, quote, "We know of no other constitutional right that an individual may exercise only after demonstrating to government officers some special need. It is not how the Second Amendment works when it comes to public carry for self-defense." In his dissent, Justice Stephen Breyer mentioned the recent mass shootings, including the supermarket massacre in Buffalo, New York. Justice Samuel Alito fired back, pointing out the New York law clearly did not stop the supermarket gunman. Still, the governor calling the ruling outrageous.
We should have the right of determination of what we want to do in terms of our gun laws in our state.
People in New York who want to carry a concealed
Gretchen
gun
Whitmore
in public
can
will
jump
still need
off
to
a
get
cliff.
a license, get fingerprinted, and pass a background check. But experts say the court's decision will make obtaining that license a lot easier.
Removing that requirement to show some special need for self-defense removes a lot of the teeth from the public carry regimes in places like New York and Massachusetts and California.
8 other states have similar laws to New York. The Supreme Court's ruling does allow the restriction of guns in so-called sensitive places like schools and government buildings. In New York, the city council is already asking state lawmakers to expand the definition of sensitive places to include hospitals, libraries, courts, places of worship, and daycares. Public transportation like the subway could also be considered.
We are very, very sensitive about the fact that we need something, because this is going to just blow the lid off of a simmering pot, quite frankly, that we're dealing with for the city.
The head of a gun rights group that brought the case says he's relieved by the Supreme Court's ruling.
We are the lawful, legal citizens of the state. You know, most of us have training, and we're not going to start a gun battle over an argument for a parking spot.
As for the gun safety bill that passed the Senate last night, it's expected to pass the House today.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here.
And
Thanks
I'm
for
going to
checking out
stop it right there. So, Anthony Allen, we have a problem right now. We certainly do have a problem. We have Republicans out here who seem to not know the Republican oath. They seem to not care about the Constitution. They seem not to care about law-abiding citizens. They went with this cockamamie gun safety bill, which tightens requirements on what is it called? What do you call that? The permits and the background checks, and also provides the school funding. Okay, I'm not, opposed to funding schools so that they can have the proper equipment and, personnel around there to stop any bad people. I'm not opposed to that at all. I'm opposed to the government, liberals, and also Republicans limiting people's constitutional rights. I'm opposed to that. And it seems like in this country right now, and I've been saying it probably for the past month, that it seems like we've only have like one one party. I understand that it says two-party, Democrat and Republican, but the Republicans are acting just like Democrats. It's hard for me to tell sometimes. Mr. Allen, you're a very smart man. Let me tell you, one of the smartest I know. What do you think about this? Why would the Republicans go along with this? What is the thought process behind this?
Yeah, these are people, I say that they belong to the Union Party, like you were alluding to. It's one party. I call it the Union Party, okay? And this is what my problem is. My problem is that Joe Biden has the lowest ratings of any president in history. His ratings are consistently low, okay? Lower than Jimmy Carter, lower than Herbert Hoover. These are low ratings across the board that stay there all the time. Most presidents have ratings that fluctuate. They go up and down according to the circumstances, the political circumstances, but not Joe Biden's. His are always low. They are always underwater, below 50%. I think now his rating, his approval rating is maybe like 35 or 36%. So this is horrible. Now, politically, when your opponent is having a bad, horrible rating, you don't help them. Okay, why would these Republicans give Joe Biden a win? Okay, they should be folding their arms and say, you know what, you guys can vote on this. We are not going to vote on this because we have these midterms coming up. When the midterms come up, and we win back the House and we win back the Senate, these Republicans can pass anything they want to. It's going to be a landslide come this midterm election in November, August and November. It's going to be a landslide. You can see it taking place now. So they should not be helping these Democrats.
No, they shouldn't.
That is what they did. And it's the normal, regular people like Mitch McConnell, John Cornyn, Tom Tillis. We're talking about Richard Burr, Susan Collins, okay? These are the senators. Lindsey Graham. It's the regular ones. And as you know, this has also passed the House again with the regular ones, passing this and going along with the Democrats like Liz Cheney and Kissinger. Both of them also voted with the Democrats. So when your political opponent is low in the polls, you don't help them out unless you are a rhino. Then you belong to the Union Party, and belonging to the Union Party, it allows you to go along to get along. And that's all they're doing here.
Yeah, absolutely correct. And Justice Clarence Thomas had a quote that really shocked a lot of folks, and it shocked the liberals too. And he said it is extremely improbable that the framers understood the Second Amendment to protect the little more than carrying a gun to the bedroom and to the kitchen. So that lets you know, that puts it into very, 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 very good perspective that, hey, the framers meant more than just carrying a gun to the gosh darn bedroom and protecting your gosh darn property. They meant more than that. And that is something that liberals do not want to hear, and they hate Justice Clarence Thomas for that. Because what he is doing is he's setting up the play. That's what he's doing. He's setting up the play, and that's something that liberals do not want to hear. They've been taking L's all year, right? They took an L with, Mr. Biden. They took an L with Kamala Harris, knee pads Harris. They're taking L's every day, all day long, and they're going to continue to take this L. I can tell you that, Anthony Allen. They're going to continue to take this L. Last words on this here, sir.
Yeah, Justice Thomas, he is a national treasure, okay? And this Supreme Court, it should be called Justice Thomas Supreme Court. Usually you title the Supreme Court as belonging to the Chief Justice, but this Supreme Court is now the Thomas Court, and he is a national treasure, and he abides by the Constitution. And what makes him so hated by the left is the fact that he is a black man, a conservative black man. Now, that's the part they really do hate the most about Clarence Thomas, is that he is a conservative, and he is a conservative black man. And they hate that more than anything in the whole world. If he was a loony liberal, they would love Clarence Thomas. But because he abides by the law, he abides by the Constitution, he's brilliant, he speaks well, he's a quiet man, but he does speak well when it comes to the Constitution. And that's what they hate about Clarence Thomas. They want all black men to wear their pants down below their butts, to speak yin yang, to have this salacious lifestyle that's about drugs and craziness constantly. And Clarence Thomas breaks all those modes. It goes from rags to riches. Okay, that's the American dream, but not for a conservative black person. They don't like that. So he is absolutely correct, and his quotes about the Second Amendment tells you that he is a man that's focused on the Constitution.
Absolutely. And they try to go after his wife. You remember that, right? His wife, Jenny?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's some evil folks trying to trash his wife, trying to put him down, all because he's not a black person they like. You get what I'm saying? If he had a hat and he had his hat backwards, he was sagging his pants, right? He had a blunt in his mouth, maybe a Colt 45 in his hand. You get what I'm saying? He said, "Oh, I love the Democrat Party. Oh, I love it. And I love chicken," right? If he was to just speak like that, the Democrats would love him. They would. Yes. But guys, darn it, a black man that is thinking, that can actually read, that can actually think for himself, that's not a black man they want, or black people they want here in America. So when he says things of this nature, these people get very upset because in their eyes, Clarence Thomas is not supposed to be there. And they've tried so hard to get him out of there. If they could, they would kill him right now. If they could. Let me tell you. They've tried so hard. Even with Anita Hill. You remember Anita Hill, right? They brought up that tramp that tried to lie. They were doing so much, ladies and gentlemen. So much to try to tarnish this man's name. Even still today. You can go up and look up Clarence Thomas. First thing that will pop up in Google will be Anita Hill, because that's how evil they are. I want folks to understand that. That's how evil they are. They won't speak about his historic nomination. They won't speak about how good he has been in his life and all the things he has done. But they will bring up the thing that they want to discredit him. And that is something that most people need to really, really, really take into consideration. Let's go ahead and move forward. Make sure you guys do us a favor. Hit that like button. Make sure you do share. Let's go ahead and speak about the big one. The one that everybody and their mama been speaking about right now. Roe v. Wade. Man, oh man. People going to be speaking about this forever right now. I can tell you that. Thousands protest the Supreme Court ruling, ladies and gentlemen, of Roe v. Wade. I want to go ahead and run this clip. When it comes back, I want to get your take on it. Where do you lie on the issue? Are you pro-life or are you pro-death? Which one? Here we go.
Now to the protests across the country in response to the Supreme Court ruling. ABC's Aaron Katersky joins us with the latest. Good morning to you, Aaron.
Eva, good morning to you. Police have already been worried about extremist threats to pride marches like the one today here in New York City. Now they fear Friday's abortion ruling is only adding fuel to the fire.
Many protests across the country this weekend following the Supreme Court's Roe v. Wade reversal were largely peaceful, but it's incidents like these that have law enforcement officials on high alert. An off-duty Providence, Rhode Island police officer who's running for office as a Republican, seen here punching his Democratic opponent at an abortion protest. That officer is now suspended and dropping out of his race. In Arizona, police used tear gas to disperse abortion rights protesters who breached the state capitol. And in Iowa, a pickup truck driver allegedly struck an abortion rights demonstrator after an argument. The concern from federal law enforcement officials is that extremists on the far left and the far right are seizing this divisive moment to incite violence.
We are seeing in chatter online and domestic violent extremist spaces that indicate both white nationalists, anti-government extremists view this as a target of opportunity.
In a bulletin obtained by ABC News, the Department of Homeland Security said the abortion ruling could spur violence for weeks, with abortion providers, churches, and judges most at risk.
One of my biggest fears is that somebody else would lose their life or their loved one.
Judge Esther Salas, whose son was murdered in the family's New Jersey home by a man targeting her, has been urging Congress to take action to protect judges.
We know that my son would expect nothing more than for us to not only survive in this world, but he wants us to thrive.
Congress has passed legislation to protect Supreme Court justices and their families, but no amount of security can compensate for the hostility that's now coursing through the country. And Janae, it's not just the abortion ruling. The Supreme Court's concealed carry decision has led to calls on the far right for protesters to arrive armed. Janae?
You said it right, Aaron. That's so much hostility. Well, turning now to a look at what could be the next battleground, the abortion pill. The U.S. Attorney General saying states cannot ban the drugs, while some states are already trying to limit access to them. Joining us now is ABC News
and I'm going to stop it right here. Bow. Mr. Allen, my goodness gracious. We've seen so many women out here upset and angry over this ruling here. They're upset and angry, let me tell you. And now we're starting to hear that all of a sudden there's going to be, terrorist things going on, right? Apparently people are planning to, bomb pride parades and go after judges and things of this nature. This should let everybody know, everybody and their mamas, know how evil these folks are. This should let you know if they weren't evil, none of the stuff that they're saying would happen. It's because they're evil. What do you think about this here, Anthony Allen? Women are mad. Well, liberal women.
Sorry about yeah.
Go ahead.
This is evil, and you have codified this expertly. These people are doing something that we need to point it out. Number one, the press is lying. There is no right for abortion in the Constitution.
None.
Okay, they tried to make it seem as if there's this right there, like to bear arms, to have to have an abortion, that somehow abortion is in the Constitution, and the Supreme Court just ripped that constitutional right away. And that's the big lie that the press is, talking about. Okay, Roe versus Wade what it did was it gave a woman the right to murder. That's what it did. And I'm saying this in very, very stark terms so that people maybe that are on the fence will understand that Roe versus Wade gave women the right to murder. And there is no health benefit from murdering an innocent child.
None.
Okay. That murder takes place at the convenience of the mother, and many people have come to grips with that and they understand this now. But these women, it is really ironic that these protesters are called protesters. They should be called rioters.
Terrorists.
Because that's what they're doing. And that's the other lie that the press is saying. They're calling these people protesters. They are burning. They are looting. Someone will get killed. They are pepper spraying people. There was a assassination attempt on Kavanaugh. Okay, 2 Supreme Court justices had to be moved to safe locations. So these are not protesters. Some rioters in Arizona, they stormed the Capitol and they held legislators hostage. So these are not protesters. These are rioters. And this is what we're having. The other lie is that people on both sides, the right and the left, they're both of them are rioting equally. No,
no, they're not. No, they're not.
Are caused by, these riots are caused by those on the left because people that value life, like we on the right do, are peaceful. When Roe versus Wade came down, the right didn't riot. We said we're going to work for years and years. From 1973, we're going to work to get this overturned. And that is the peacefulness that people on the right have. But the left, when they don't get their way, what do? They burn, they loot, they murder, they go all in to tear down the whole system just to get their way. So I've had some conversations on Facebook with some loonies on the left, and I posted a picture of a baby that had been aborted, and when these loons called this baby SHIT, they said, well, this is SHIT. That's what this person said.
Oh, wow.
And so I wrote back to that person. I said to them that this person could not even call this baby a baby. They are so demonic that they called this image of a murdered baby SHIT. That's how demonic these people are. That's what we're dealing with. When you're dealing with people like that calls a baby SHIT, you know that these are some very, very bad people. And we on the right have to understand what we're dealing with. We're not dealing with sane people.
No, we're not.
We're dealing with some very, very left-wing, almost insane people that want women to have the right to murder another human being.
Absolutely. And that's why people on the right have to start understanding where they're at in their life. They have to understand reality. They have to understand what the hell is going on. The people on the left that are pushing for this nonsense, they want Roe v. Wade. You hear people like Elizabeth Warren saying, I'm spitting mad about this and you're just going to see. Those type of people, they're not regular folks. I want good folks on the right to understand that. They're not. These people are very evil. They have evil intentions. That is the main reason why when this ruling comes down, they're talking about death, aren't they? Hey, we're going to make sure that nobody can eat here again. I want the women to understand something as well. You see how spitting mad the women are. The women are right now, they're into doing some terrorist stuff because they believe that somehow men and the government got their hands on their body. They've been led to that gosh darn trough by some horses that are liars. I want people to wake up. I especially want the women to wake up because the women are being used. That's why I speak to women the most, because they're being used through their emotion. And I want the women to understand that. The liberal left doesn't like you because you're smart. Yeah, I want the women to understand. I speak plainly because I want the women to understand. They don't like you because they think you're smart. They like you because they know that they can use your mental characteristics against you and against America. They know it. They know, hey, if we got the woman in our corner, we got America, right? We can convince the woman she's a what? A victim. Most women out there believe they're victims. I kid you not. Victim of something. And you don't believe me? Go ahead and ask your girl. Ask your wife. Right? Ladies out there know what I'm talking about. They believe, some of them believe they're victims. Right? We've been oppressed since we've been here in America. See, women only make something, 30 cents on the dollar to a man. All sorts of BS like that. There's women out here, majority of them believe it. I want the men to understand that. They believe this. So when they are led to the victim table, right? And they say, hey, you're a victim. You see all these men around here? Yeah, see, they're bad. A lot of them are sitting here raping. Yeah, they're murderers too. Yeah, they started all these wars too, girl. Yeah. When they do stuff like that, I want the women to understand they're using you. They're absolutely using you. And now they're using you once more again, claiming that you're a victim, right? Claiming that somehow men out there are trying to take control of your body. Yeah. I want the women to understand that's how dumb they think you are. And most women are falling for it. So that's why men, in my personal opinion, need to be honest when they're dealing with women. Most men, especially here in America, are betas. They are raised by their mama. They don't know how to be honest towards women in their life, which is a detriment to America. Last words on this here, Anthony Allen, before I show the next one here.
Yeah, yes, we can expect nothing less than rioting from people that would kill babies with acid, a suction, and a sulfur clamp to rip the baby apart. And this is where they are. And this is what we expected. We knew that when this Supreme Court announcement came down, this Supreme Court ruling came down, that we knew the left would go crazy. Mm-hmm. And not fighting it, in a logical way, that they would burn, they would riot, they would loot. And now every summer it will be a summer of rage for these people on the left. This is their fighting season or the rioting season. And we're going to see more and more of this. And they'll have on uniforms. They'll have on Black Lives Matter uniforms. They'll have on Antifa uniforms.
They have the pussy hats.
They'll be rioting. Yes. And every summer, you can mark it down now. Ever since 2020, this will be every summer, Black Lives Matter, Antifa, the Women's March, all the left-wingers will burn down cities unless they're stopped by police officers and soldiers. Mm-hmm. And they have to be stopped.
You ain't lying. They have to be stopped. And people need to know the truth. Men out there need to be honest. They need to be strong. Yeah, they need to be Men need to be men. Point blank period.
Yes.
They need to stop worrying about what women think about them and be men. And I want the men to understand, I haven't thought about what women think about me since I was probably in junior high. I kid you not. That's how crazy I am. That's why I can sit on here with a big-ass, scraggly-ass beard and not care. Yeah. I've stopped caring since I was in junior high. And guess what? My life been great ever since. Yeah. I don't shed any tears or nothing. My heart is fine. So the guys need to start doing what's proper. Be a real man. Trust me. The women will definitely thank you for it. They will. Let's go ahead and move forward. Make sure you guys hit that like button. Make sure you share. Now, Anthony Allen, I want to go ahead and show you a woman who is out of her mind. She goes by the name of James Brown. I mean, gosh darn it, Maxine Waters. Maxine Waters is calling for pro-abortion extremists to fight. And I want you to take a look at this here. Let me tell you something, man. She ain't never fought this hard in her life. Let me tell you. Probably for that gosh darn ugly ass wig she got on, but anything else, she ain't fight. Here we go.
You see this turnout here? You ain't seen nothing yet. Women are going to control their bodies no matter how they try and stop us. The hell with the Supreme Court. We will defy them. Women will be in control of their bodies. And if they think black women are intimidated or afraid, they got another thought coming. Black women will be out in droves. We will be out by the thousands. We will be out by the millions. We're going to make sure we fight for the right to control our own bodies. Thank you. Hello, everybody.
There you go. She said black women will be out by the millions fighting so that they can kill their children. That's why the folks on the right need to start changing their language. You see how the people on the left can call you racist, bigots, gosh darn fraud. They call you everything in the book. Soon as you call them any name that hurt their feelings, you know what people on the right do? They start apologizing. You need to stop it. You call them what they are. They're murderers. That's what they are. If they want to go ahead and sit here and fight for something like this, you need to be honest and call them what they are. They are murderers. They are people who want to escape parental responsibilities. That's something that, gosh darn, people on the right never even speak about. You're quick to say a man is, if he's not paying child support, if he's not in the life of the child, somehow he's a bad man, he's a deadbeat, he's this, he's that, right? He's running away from his parental responsibilities. But when it comes down to a woman, we can't say that. That's how pussified our nation is. A woman can sit here, drop a baby off at McDonald's. Nobody will bat an eye and call her a bad mama, right? Nobody will. If she go ahead and drop the baby off at the gas station or at a police station, nobody say nothing to her. If she go ahead and bury the baby in the backyard like Brooke Schuyler, you know what they're doing? They're trying to do what, ladies and gentlemen? Trying to get her a therapist. What happened in her life, right? Yeah. So I'm letting folks understand and know that when it comes to women and them escaping parental responsibilities, them running away from their children, we like to be quiet about that while we point our finger at the men. And now the tables have turned, rightfully so, right? And now women are running away from the responsibilities. Why are we having this? I just don't understand that. Why are women running away from the responsibilities? They want an out. while men don't have an out. No matter if you've been left by your baby dad or not. I want the women to understand they're still legally responsible. And most women who leave their children ain't legally responsible. They just run. Anthony Allen. My goodness gracious, let me tell you. What do you think about this here, sir?
Yeah, beautiful, man. That was great what you said there. I do want to give a shout out to Kristen, beautiful, wonderful lady. Thank you very much, Kristen. I appreciate that. Yeah, what you said was right on target, because we do have a society now that lets women escape the responsibility, and they bend over backwards to do this. They want to uplift women, and to uplift women, what do? They put down men and boys.
Absolutely.
Okay, and that's the left. This is how they operate. They always create a divide. So women, like, they can pop out babies uncontrollably, and no one said, hey, that's terrible, like, you shouldn't do that. They'll say, oh, she's a single mom.
Yep.
She's a single this. If the woman runs the man off, like, the man wants to be a part of the child's life, the woman has created an atmosphere that he can't stay around.
Unattainable.
Well, guess what? Yeah, oh gosh, that's a bad daddy now.
Yep.
No, the woman ran the man off on purpose. Okay, but let's get back to Maxine Waters. Okay, now, wasn't it very, very scary how she was behaving? She had that bony finger. She was wagging that bony finger at people. Yep. And she was inciting a riot. That is exactly what she was doing. Anyone else would get in trouble.
Yep.
If Donald Trump said anything close to what Maxine Waters was able to say, they would have him impeached again. Okay. And this is the left. This is that double tier justice system where the left can get away with anything they want to, because that's the narrative that the mainstream media, they want to push. Now, your point was well taken, because she's telling Black women to murder their babies.
There you go.
The Black population is stuck at between 13 and 14%.
You caught it.
And that's because Black women murder
their babies.
More babies. There are some cities like Atlanta and New York, Jermain Botsio, more babies in those cities are aborted than are being born alive. And that's why the Black population should be like 30, 40, 45%.
Yep.
But because of abortion, the Black population is stuck there at 13 and 14%. Now, if you look at Maxine Waters and her behavior and telling Black women to be loud, to be awful, now across all ethnicities, the Black woman has the lowest marriage rate.
There you go.
Because of people like Maxine Waters.
Yep.
No one wants to have someone behave that way around them. Men don't want that loud, ugly, mean, vicious behavior. And that's what the mainstream media promotes about Black women.
Oh, yeah,
and
that
Black
bad
women
bitch behavior.
fall for this behavior. It's horrible behavior. And so they don't get married that often because, men are running away from, these women that are loud, mean, and they want to murder a baby. It's going to be hard for a guy to want to marry a woman that has that will have a propensity to murder their own child. Okay, so Maxine Waters, she's a horrible person, and I'm always tired of my, white friends trying to uplift people like Maxine Waters or AOC or any of those Black Democrats that are just very, very terrible people. Because their skin is Black and they are female, they want to give them a pass. They should never get a pass. This behavior of Maxine Waters should end her with some charges dropped on her.
Absolutely. You're absolutely correct. And you know one person that I haven't heard speak about this would be Al Sharpton. Where is he at? Where is he? You know what I'm saying? Al Sharpton is quiet on this because he know how evil this is. He know it. And for him to come out as quote unquote being a pastor and be for, abortion look bad. He know it look bad. Even to his congregates, he know it look bad. So he gonna be quiet on this one. You know it. He gonna be quiet on this one. I want to go ahead and show you guys what Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez is saying. All right, she says that protecting babies endangers the lives of birthing people. Take a look.
I think what the Supreme Court just did was that they chose to endanger the lives of all women and all birthing people in this country. But not only that, they've chosen to strip rights from men too.
Strip rights away from men too. Men out there, you see how Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, you see how she care about you? and your perceived right? You see that? So this is the main reason why women need to start using common sense and get out of the emotion. Use logic. People like AOC, she's calling you guys birthing people now. You're not women, right? Pretty soon she will say the people with breasts. Yeah, she'll start saying that. Or they'll say what my brother says, the people who complain a lot. my brother says women complain a lot, I'm with him. But, yeah, you don't want that, women. The people who complain a lot versus the birthing people. You don't want that. You would rather be called women. I would rather call y'all women than the people who complain a lot or, birthing people. The folks on the liberal left don't give a crap about women at all. They don't. And the women on the liberal left don't care either. They're all about power. That's it. AOC knows if she goes along with the riff-raff, she'll get some sort of government job down the road. She knows this, ladies and gentlemen. So she's willing and able to go along with these dumb words so that she can get in. Anthony Allen, last words on this here, sir.
Yeah, AOC, she is a classic woke nut. We know that it is impossible for a man to have a baby. And her statement, it is a oxymoron. It is idiotic for her to say protecting babies endangers the lives of all birthing people. Now, sane Americans like you and I, people listening to us, we are sick and tired of these woke nuts making up pronouns also. They are making up pronouns like them and Zai. And they're wearing their pronouns on their lapels. Lord. Call me Z or Zai or whatever. I'm not calling them that. I'm going to use the normal, regular pronouns. But you know what? These people are trying to force the issue. It is not birthing people. It is a birthing woman or a birthing mother. Okay. And it is not chest feeding. It is breastfeeding. Okay. Yep. I'm not going to go over this LGBT cliff of nonsense. I'm not going to do it. And as conservatives, we need to stand our ground and tell these people to go pound sand. We're not going to get into this semantic game of saying chest feeding, it's breastfeeding. We're not going to go along with birthing people. We're going to say birthing women or birthing mothers. We're
Yup.
not going to go along with this. We have got to start standing our ground against this crazy, crazy wokeness that's, infecting our culture.
Absolutely. We have to stand our ground. We have to. The women have to stand their ground too. Women have to start being honest. They have to get a backbone out there. Yeah, you have to stop getting a backbone with the men in your life, right? Yeah, you women out there, you know what I'm talking about. You know how strong you are with the men in your life, right? You're quick to tell your husband, shut up, right? You're quick to do that. You're quick to tell your son to go sit down, right? You have a strong backbone when it comes to men. You better have that same backbone when it comes to women who are pushing this lie. You better have that same backbone that you've been, put on by the, media and some other outlets. Use that energy and use it for good, women out there. Use it for good. There's women out there who don't give a crap about you. They just care about how many shoes they have and how much money they can procure. That's it. And you know how evil a lot of women are. Women know this too. That's why I speak to women like this. Women have an issue with each other, right? Women are the only ones that walk around and say, I don't like other women, right? Other women are catty, right? I don't hang out with women. Yeah, you women out there know what I'm talking about, right? Yeah, there's probably some women out here who are like that too. You don't hang out with other women. You hang out with guys because other women are catty. They're backstabbing. They're not very good friends, right? They talk a lot. Women know what I'm talking about. Yeah, I want the women to understand, why do you think alpha guys don't like hanging out with women, except for the women they're with? Why do you think so? Alpha guys don't like hanging out with women like that because of that nature as well, right? Because of the talking behind the back. Yeah, the cattiness. Right? The jealousy. Women know what I'm talking about. So much drama, right? Alpha men like myself, we don't like the drama. You bring the emotion and the drama, you're going to be by yourself. Right? Yeah, women know exactly what I'm talking about. Look at all the yeps in there. Yeah, they know. So the women need to be honest, and they need to stand up for their own right. As you're standing up and speaking, real harshly to your husband and the men in your life, use that same energy and redirect it towards these bitches who are trying to ruin your life. Anthony Allen, last words here, sir.
You're exactly right, my friend. If you're going to be strong all across the board, okay? Because we're entering into this cultural fight now that they want women to be silent, to just sit back and let things go. But you ladies have to fight for who you are, because these leftists, they think so little of you, and that's why they have transgender. They think so little of how complicated you are. They say, we can be a woman just like that.
Yep.
Okay, that's evil. That's a put down. That's how they feel about you. They don't respect you because they can turn into one.
Yep.
Just like that. They can put on a dress and, rearrange some body parts and say, hey, I'm a woman. That's disrespectful. It's evil. And ladies out there, stand up against that.
You need to stand up and stand proudly. Last but not least, Anthony Allen, we're going to speak about Trump here. We got a few minutes here, and I want to speak about him before we depart here. I want to speak to you about Trump had a rally the other day in Illinois. And let me tell you something. This Illinois Republican that was there, got the liberals heated. Let me tell you, absolutely heated. This Illinois Republican tells Trump at the rally that Roe v. Wade victory is a victory for white life. Oh, man, let me tell you. You know that's a problem for the left. Let me go ahead and run this when I come back. I want to speak about it. Make sure you share. Here we go.
I want to thank you for the historic victory for white life in the Supreme Court yesterday. Oh my gosh. Thank you so much, President Trump. It's such an honor to be able to welcome you. I'm so honored to have your endorsement. President Trump, on behalf of all the MAGA patriots in America, I want to thank you for the historic victory for white life in the Supreme Court yesterday. Our victories for life and the Second Amendment would never have been possible if the Never Trump rhinos had gotten their way.
Bow. And let me stop it right there. So Anthony Allen, it says that she meant to say right to life. But gosh darn it. It should just say white life. There's nothing wrong with that. Had she have said black life, nobody would have batted an eye. But she said white life, and people got their panties in a bunch. What do you think here, sir?
Yeah, I was listening to her, and when she was speaking, I was watching, as I usually do, very, very carefully. Yeah, very, very carefully. And she meant to say right to life. I mean, in those circumstances like that, it's easy to get tongue-tied. I get tongue-tied myself just speaking into a microphone,
That is true, too, yep.
You got thousands of people looking at you, and she was trying to look at her notes, trying to make sure that she stayed on target, trying to make sure, and she just flubbed that, But you're right. Had she said and flubbed it and said black life, she would have gotten a applaud all across this nation
through the roof
from the woken nuts and these, black people. But because she misspoke and it sounded as if she said white, now people are all upset about this. But, for a fact that these people, these, black racists, these, lefty people, they're always looking for a cause to divide. They're looking for it as a hoax. They always want to find a way to interject race and color into everything that Donald Trump does. When you look at these interviews of people in line, they are just loving Donald Trump. The blacks are loving
through the roof
Trump. But these people are always trying to find something about color so they can divide this nation along color. And this is what they'll be playing on a loop over and over again, that she said white in a racist sense.
Absolutely. And then you have Donald Trump right next to her. So, of course, they're going to link that to Donald Trump, say Donald Trump somehow, endorsed this message, somehow did this and did that and all sorts of other crap to try to make it look like Donald Trump is a racist and Republicans are racist. It's a narrative that is old. Let me tell you.
Old.
Very old, Anthony Allen. You get tired of the narrative. You really do. Whether she said right to life or white life, it doesn't matter at all. She said nothing wrong. It's funny that you can uplift black people in this country. But to do that, you know what you must do, Anthony Allen?
Yep. Put down white people.
There you go. You'll put down white people. Just like when it comes to women in this country, to uplift women, what must you do?
You got to put down men.
There you go. So that should let women know that you're part of that club. You're part of that club along with the blacks. Men and blacks are in that club too. The victim club. Absolutely. Because when you're a part of that club, you think like that. Yeah, you think like that. You're part of what I call the insecure club, right? You gotta be insecure to have that type of ordeal going on where somebody must put down somebody and lift you up, and that is the only way you feel good, right? The only way you feel good. If you uplift men, you know what you must do? You must uplift women too. That's how insecure women are, right? When we uplift a man, we must speak about a woman and uplift her as well. That is crazy. But we do it here in America. And it's because America, we don't have any common sense right now. We don't. And we need to get back the common sense so that we can get back our nation and get back to what is right. Anthony Allen, buddy, pal, I want to thank you so much for coming on in here, hanging out with me. Very
pleasure.
good show, over an hour and a half. You know, we're getting back to our old mark again. We're getting back, you know, just a little bit more shows, you know, and the brother be ready. You know, I got a little bit more meat to put on my body, and I'll be ready. But I want to thank you so much for hanging out with the brother, hanging out with the crowd. I'm sure the audience misses you. Any words for our beautiful crowd here, sir?
Yeah, this crowd, this beautiful crowd, conservative nation, they're like my family, and I appreciate everyone on this, you know, network listening to what we have to say, because, you know, we are speaking from as conservatives from a conservative perspective. We are not like conservatives trying to, you know, help liberals understand. No, we are not doing that.
Nope.
We are speaking as conservatives, giving a conservative message from a conservative perspective.
Yep.
And last but not least, as I always say, we have got to stick together. Do not let the left divide us on color, on race, on gender. Never let them divide us. And we need to stand up together as Americans, not as Black Americans and white Americans. And we need to stand together as one, Americans. And we need to put our country first, not Ukraine, not Mexico, you know, not the European Union.
Not
you
Ukraine.
Put America first. You know,
man,
so
I'm
that's
telling you,
my
people are
message, my
bugging.
friend.
Brother, let me tell you, I had to laugh at that last thing you said. Not Ukraine first. There's so many dumb Republicans out there who still have the Ukraine flag up. It's blowing my mind. Aren't they paying attention to what the heck's going on over there? Ukraine losing. It's about to be over. America, you see how America's sending billions of dollars over to Ukraine? I want Americans to understand the government don't love us. They're able to send billions of dollars to Ukraine for them to secure themselves, while we can't even send millions of dollars to our schools so that our schools can be, you know, really built well, really secured well. Now, I've seen the funding they sent. The funding ain't nothing. It ain't nothing compared to what they sent to Ukraine. So that is our government right now. Because we have people like Joe Biden in office, they're able to finesse most of America and extract money so that they can fill their pockets. Anthony Allen, buddy, thank you so much once more for coming on in here. I also want to thank everybody for joining us. We will be on tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Central. Come and join us. We shall have a fantastic show lined up for you. And you know, we gonna get it in. We gonna fly. You know it. We gonna fly. So you guys take care. Have a very, very beautiful night. And we'll catch you guys here later with another edition of Conservative Nation. You guys take care. and have a very beautiful night. Bye-bye.